is up, Berserker Patriots store family? Hope you're all having an extremely blessed night. Hope you're all safe on this glorious New Year's Eve. And I hope nothing horrible happens tonight. But on off chance it does, in the name of Jesus, just please keep everybody safe and bring blessings to the world. Amen. So I hope everybody had a good day today. I spent a little time in the hospital yesterday. That wasn't fun. So, yeah, that's why we weren't here last night. Tried to make a few videos throughout the day. But, we got crazy stuff happening out here right now. California's absolutely retarded. We'll get into that in a second. If Eric Swalwell is voted in and elected as the next governor of California, California's cooked by the United States military, more than likely, because everything he's saying for his campaigning, which is what the California people want, is illegal. Highly, highly illegal. It's actually declaring war against the United States government. So that's crazy on its face. Then there's a few more things. We're not going to do a long service. We're not going to have a long show tonight. Obviously, it's New Year's Eve, and we got to get setting off some big fireworks. But yeah, that's another thing that happened. About an hour ago, Florida went on all live TV for people to have cable and issued an urgent emergency that all fireworks shows are to be canceled in the state of Florida tonight for New Year's Eve. Well, fuck that. Nobody's going to listen to that because we always shoot off fireworks. They've been going for the past 3 hours already since it got dark here. So, well, about 2 hours. But anyway, let's get in. Let's go ahead and get into what's going on with Eric Swalwell here. So, this is pretty crazy stuff. I don't expect anyone to jump on here, but when this posts, hopefully a few of you will see it. Okay, so Eric Swalwell promises to arrest ICE agents on kidnapping charges if elected California governor. Well, before we even get into that article, first thing we're going to say is, can we say civil war now? That's the active definition of civil war, when you ordered your police department to arrest federal agents for doing their job under the law of the United States Constitution. And what happens when cops pull guns on federal agents? Well, federal agents will pull guns back on, and then insurrection, martial law, all kinds of crazy shit. That's literally civil war. If someone says they're going to become governor, and on day one, California representative and gubernatorial candidate Eric Swalwell said he would pursue criminal charges against federal immigration agents if elected governor, arguing the ICE officers operating in the state should be charged with offenses including kidnapping and assault for doing their job and arresting criminal aliens. Swalwell launched his bid for governor last month, seeking to replace incumbent Governor Gavin Newsom during an appearance on MSN Now. They had to change because everything was fucking up, which it still is. Swalwell was asked what he would bring to the role if appointed to opposition to immigration enforcement efforts under the Trump administration aimed at detaining individuals in the country illegally. So they even add in the country illegally. And what is his answer? Well, you have immense powers as governor of California, and your responsibilities to protect the most vulnerable in the state, which, when he says that, he means his voters, the illegals. Swalwell said, I mean, you got to understand, though, this is the only way they can win in California. If they say they're going to arrest ICE agents for arresting criminal aliens, well, that's their voter base in California. So, Swalwell said, so if the president is going to send ICE agents to chase immigrants, criminal alien, invader terrorists, through the fields where they work, what I'm going to make sure that they take
off their masks and show their faces, that they show their identification. You mean like Gavin Newsom literally just passed a law stating they had to do that, and you have no authority over federal agents, even though it's your state and they're not incumbent to you whatsoever? So, I mean, falsely imprisoning people. They're falsely imprisoning people. And if they commit crimes, that they're going to be charged with crimes, he continued. If it's falsely imprisoning people, if it's kidnapping, if it's assault and battery, they're going to be held accountable. What? But you're not going to hold the criminals accountable in your state. You're not going to hold the criminals accountable, but you're going to go after actual federal agents. This is civil war. This is civil war. It's what this is. There's a video. Let's hear it from his own mouth so you don't think that I'm just making this shit the fuck up. Let's hear it from his own mouth.
What would you bring to the table as the governor of California? You have immense powers as governor of California, and your responsibility is to protect the most vulnerable in the state. So if the president is going to send ICE agents to chase immigrants to the fields where they work, what I'm going to do is make sure that they take off their masks and show their faces, that they show their identification, and if they commit crimes, that they're going to be charged with crimes. If it's falsely imprisoning people, if it's kidnapping, if it's assault, battery, they're going to be held accountable. I also think if the governor has the ability to issue driver's licenses to people in California, if you're going to wear a mask and not identify yourself, you're not going to be eligible to drive a vehicle in California. There's a lot you can do, but most importantly, you have to go on offense. Otherwise, the most vulnerable in our community will always be on defense.
That's crazy. That's insane. So the most vulnerable, they weren't very vulnerable. They were breaking into this country. They weren't very vulnerable when they were traveling and selling their kids and all this shit. They weren't very vulnerable then, but now they're vulnerable. They come from countries that would beg to have the good things that we have in this country, but now they're vulnerable. But wait, there's more. There's so much news on California today, it's not even funny. So, if you haven't heard, San Francisco now has their reparations committee and the funds ready. So San Francisco to create reparations fund. They have their committee. This is crazy. And if you don't understand why it's insane that California would pay fucking reparations, then just shut the fuck up about politics and history, because you don't understand that California was a free state and never owned slaves in California. So the fact that California and San Francisco, this is how fucking politically correct and fucking DEI oriented and racist they are, basically, because nobody in California ever owned slaves, but they're going to take tax dollars from white people to give fucking black people money that were never slaves in California. That makes no sense whatsoever. That makes no sense. San Francisco to create reparations fund that could give $5 million to each black resident. $5 million fucking dollars to each black resident in San Francisco. Well, holy fuck. I guess San Francisco is going to be all black in about a week now that this has come out, because every motherfucking black person wants $5 million, and only San Francisco is doing it, not all of California. But that's insane. That's insane. They never owned slaves in fucking California. San Francisco Mayor Daniel Lurie signed a reparations bill. They signed a law just days before Christmas that could see black residents in the city receive up to $5 million fucking dollars. Following a 2023 report, the city's African American reparations advisory. First of all, not one of you are African American. Not one of you that are in this motherfucking country right now have ancestors that you can trace to Africa. I guarantee it. I guarantee you that. And if you go to Africa right now as a black American, they're gonna fuck you up because they hate you there. They do not recognize you as Africans, and they still have legal slavery in Africa. What the fuck, bro? How about you find a way to give freedom to the 750,000 Africans that are still slaves in Africa before you give reparations to any Africans? How about we end slavery for Africa before we give reparations to people from Africa? Why don't we give reparations to all of the Native Americans in America? The fuck do the black people have to do with it? The Native Americans. How about we give reparations to the Irish in America that were sent into mines to die like fucking dogs? How about we do that? We would have, my Irish half, my ancestors, which is how I got part of Irish half, is because fucking people were slaves and they fucked, would have begged to pick some fucking cotton. We would have begged to pick some fucking cotton. But like, fuck yeah, you come down here in the mines and die. But we'd have lost you if you'd... Oh, never mind. That's racist. I can't say that. We wouldn't be able to find you if you went in the fucking mines. I'm sorry. I'm having one of those days where fucking all this fucking fatigue is just getting to me. The AARAC was tasked with developing recommendations for repairing harm in our black communities. You never owned slaves. What fucking harm? The only harm in your black communities are people fucking killing each other. That's the only fucking harm. Fuck. Happy New Year's. Happy New Year's Eve. If you're in Southwest Florida, understand they just put a ban on fireworks here. Fuck you, Ron DeSantis. Oh, all of you that called me crazy and talked shit about me about Ron DeSantis for exposing the millions and millions of dollars that he stole from the fucking taxpayers just fucking went viral with mainstream media. So fuck everybody. I exposed that shit 2.5 motherfucking years ago. That's my motherfucking story. Damn it. That's my motherfucking story. I've been talking about that forever. Wait until they get into fucking investigating Casey DeSantis. See, now the Doge of Florida is backfiring on the governor. Okay. Bobby Williams for governor for Florida. America first, Florida first. Wants to pass the Northern Enemies Act and the Deportation Act of Florida. Okay. We don't have anybody doing anything like that right now. And Byron Donalds ain't talking about no shit like that. So Bobby Williams for Florida governor. Black communities. According to the 2023 report, the community, including more than 100 proposals, among them $5 million to over 100 fucking people. Hold on a minute. Controversial one-time lump sum payment of $5 million to each qualifying black adult in San Francisco to compensate the affected population for the decades. Oh, there's the loophole. There's the loophole. This is all pandering, black people. There's the fucking loophole right there. Hey, how do you like the fact that even CNN came out today and said there's no evidence whatsoever in the Epstein files that implicates Donald Trump being a part of the Epstein shit? Only witnesses, as Donald Trump is a witness for the FBI. How'd you like when CNN slammed that fucking lefty today? That was fucking beautiful, wasn't it? Because they combed through all the fucking bullshit y'all are talking about and they actually read it and they're like, oh, fuck. Everything they've been saying on social media is fake. And now CNN is taking up for Donald Trump. How do you guys like that? How do you guys like that? Watch their ratings go through the fucking roof. They'll start taking up for Donald Trump, and the ratings will go right the fuck up. 100 proposals among the controversial one-time lump sum payment of $5 million for the oppression in the free state that never owned slaves. There's your loophole. For the decades of harm they have experienced, our proposal included initiatives such as debt relief and guaranteed annual income of 97,000 city-funded homes and others. Eligibility requirements for the lump sum payment remain unclear. There are roughly 50,000 black residents in San Francisco. So that's their loophole. They make it sound all good and they bury the lead like they always do. And let me tell you why that's a loophole. Because California never owned slaves. So you can't qualify for reparations for that $5 million lump sum. So once again, it's a failed social experiment for socialism. It's a social program where you might qualify for a $97,000 loan on a house or something else. So that's the loophole. That's where they get you right there. So if all you read is that fucking headline that, let's go back up to the headline and look at it. This looks great, right? This is what the black people see and this is what they vote on, because you're not going to read that fucking what I just read for you. San Francisco to create reparations fund that could give $5 million to each black resident. But then it doesn't say anywhere in the article, oh yeah, that's right, California was a free state and didn't own slaves, and there's qualifications, so if you qualify to be repressed, But nobody qualifies to be repressed in California because there were no slaves in California. That's the word salad games these Democrats play with you people, and you still fucking vote for them. It's insane. It's insane. Caroline Levitt went on live TV today and let us know. By the way, 99 people, 99 Somalis have now been denaturalized and deported in the past couple days. And 400 Somalis have been arrested now since the last time I told y'all Somalis were arrested. Bring Obama back. Why? You like killing American citizens and watch your president get fucked by a man with a dick bigger than yours? I guess so. I guess so. When that lefty came out today on CNN and called Trump a pedophile, and all of the CNN anchors jumped in and said, hey, there's absolutely no evidence of that. And then the lefty said, what did he say? He said, you're right. There's absolutely no evidence of that, but that's what we're talking about on the internet. So that's the kind of brain these people have. There's no evidence of it whatsoever. They admitted it right on CNN Live today. Right on CNN Live, they admitted it. But that's what we're talking about anyway, was his exact fucking words. So, I mean, I'm going to make a prophetic prediction. I'm going to Nostradamus you. I foresee by the middle of 2026, right up, I foresee after the midterms, more than likely, if not before, military's going to have to be on the streets. I mean, the feds are all over fucking Minnesota right now. The feds are watching fucking Dearborn, Michigan like a fucking hawk. We got veterans fucking organizations rising up all over the fucking country and letting the cops in their local communities know, hey, this is what's going to happen soon. So either stand with us or stand against us. You know, it's happening everywhere right now. So the difference is people on the right don't go make videos about what we're doing. You know what I mean? I get on here and I'll give you the news, but what I do in my daily life is nobody's business. Especially when you people commit crimes on camera. That's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. The reason you people get caught is because you do your shit on the camera. We collate with our local law enforcement, so they know what the fuck we're doing when we meet with a bunch of people. They know that we're not a terrorist organization and we're not getting fucking embedded with FBI agents. Because I hope a lot of you terrorist organizations in America know you are embedded with so many feds, it's not even fucking funny. Why do you think they're able to take you down right when you're about to commit the crime, when you're driving down the road with all the bombs in your car? Okay, you're in America. You're not in a third world country. These people are watching all of you. Every comment in here that talks shit about me, half of you that have threatened to murder me, I've been contacted by the FBI about that. They go on live TV and they tell you, we're watching comments in social media. We're watching your fucking comments on fucking emails. They tell you they're watching your shit. If you've ever made a post that's represented Antifa, that's represented Palestine, that's represented Hamas, or anything like that, you are on a terror watch list and you are being investigated right now. We need you to understand this. And this comes on the cusp because I'm talking to you about this because they just went and arrested a bunch of fucking people today. And I'll be the first one to tell you, I didn't think that was going to happen. So Donald Trump did a press interview today, this morning, if you didn't see it. He told us that he's going to pull, see if I can find it. See if there's an article in here somewhere. He's going to pull the National Guard. I think it's out of LA, Chicago, and 2 other cities. He completely pull the National Guard out to have them mobilize, do a little training, and come back in much, much more greater force with a lot more authority, is what he said. I'm not going to fucking say, I quote this. I just found the article. Let me read it to you. Let me pull it up and read it to you. Come back in stronger form is what he said, it looks like in the article. So let's get into this really quick. Because this, you got to listen to the terminology of the way Trump speaks to understand what his next move is going to be. Because he has done a lot of this stuff strategically, but a lot of this stuff was luck. You know what I mean? It's a toss-up. I love my president. There's a lot of things I don't like that's happening right now. Pam Bondi needs to be held accountable immediately. But let's get into this. Breaking. Trump to pull National Guard from Portland, LA, and Chicago. Warns they will come back stronger form. So we're going to read that and see if they quoted him right with the headline. President Donald J. Trump announced on Wednesday his decision to pull National Guard troops from Los Angeles, California, Chicago, Illinois, and Portland, Oregon. This comes amid a series of legal defeats, including a recent U.S. Supreme Court decision blocking deployments in Illinois. In a post on Truth Social, Trump stated, "We are removing the National Guard from Chicago, Los Angeles, and Portland, despite the fact that crime has been greatly reduced." They put a curfew in New York today, by the way, for anyone underage due to so many murders in New York this year. By having these great patriots in those cities, and only by that fact, he added that the cities were gone if it weren't for the federal government stepping in, and declared the federal forces could return perhaps in much different and stronger form when the crimes begin to soar again. Only a question of time. So, here's his actual quote. They've got it on here from Truth Post. "We are removing the National Guard from Chicago, Los Angeles, and Portland, despite the fact that crime has been greatly reduced. By having these great patriots in those cities, and only by the fact Portland, Los Angeles, and Chicago were gone, if it weren't for the federal government stepping in, we will come back perhaps in much different and stronger form. When crime begins to soar again, only a question of time." This is where they cut it off, and they didn't put the exclamation point, which makes a difference. "It is hard to believe these Democrat mayors and governors, all of whom are greatly incompetent. I'm sorry. I was a little incompetent there, brain fart. Greatly incompetent, would want us to leave, especially considering the great progress that has been made." But guess what? What progress has been made when a dude that's running for governor in California right now, his top running fucking program is he didn't give any policies, he didn't give any of this, he didn't give any of that. He said, if I become governor, I'm going to force the feds to take their masks off, and then we're going to arrest them. If they continue this in that state, we're going to arrest federal agents for doing their job. What? And then on the other side, we got New York and Minnesota and Texas arguing about putting fucking National Guard or putting Sharia law in their states. What the fuck? How about we just call this the United States Communist Party from here on out? Because there's no more rule of law unless you're a law-abiding citizen. Okay? If you're a criminal alien, you don't have to abide by the laws in America and the majority of states, including Florida, because the massive report finally just came out today. Another thing I exposed, you sons of bitches. I've been talking about this for 4 fucking years. We're third in the nation for the most criminal aliens. That finally came out on the news today. That's the first time that's come out on the news this entire fucking time. Third in the nation, 3.8 million criminal aliens in the state of Florida. That's not including the 750,000 Muslims that have infiltrated Florida with the CARE Florida that I exposed and is now a foreign terrorist organization in the state of Florida, and the Muslim Brotherhood, which I am on every hit list they have. Okay, so they have their own prosecutors, their own judges, their own cops, their own civil rights firms in the state of Florida. Tampa, Miami, Orlando, Tallahassee, Ron DeSantis, you should be on that shit. That's right there where you're at, buddy. And Fort Myers, Sarasota, and that's Trinidad Agua, that's in Polk County. I'm sorry, there's a lot of different fucking terrorist organizations and fucking foreign gangs in the state of Florida to remember every single county they're in, but there's 22 counties that they have fully infiltrated, from the legal system to the judges to the prosecutors to the fucking defenders for the people who, working with the prosecutors in the state of Florida alone. Trinidad is in, 72 counties and cities in the state of Florida right now. There was just a massive arrest in Polk County, Florida, my hometown, Lakeland, Florida, where I'm from. That's my stomping grounds. From there to here, all my life, my family's been. Just arrested like 12 or 13 of them for doing really dumb, fucked up shit. So you don't hear about the stuff in Florida, but now all of a sudden, at the end of Ron DeSantis' term, all this shit's coming out. So go figure, right? You're about to find out that every single anti-woke law that you thought happened in Florida never went into law. 249 Stay Woke Act, Stop Woke Act, never happened, overturned by a federal judge. Section 230 bill, never happened, overturned by a federal judge. Pornographic book ban, never happened, overturned by a federal judge. I can keep going on. 249 of them, never happened. Ron DeSantis never fought to get them back into legislation. He had constitutional carry on the ballot. He refused to sign it. He would only sign permitless carry. The judges said, fuck that. So this year, they ruled against that and said, no, people can open carry in the state of Florida. We have constitutional carry now. So they overturned that ruling, okay? So when you say that Florida's good, Texas is good, no, we're not. We've been infiltrated for the past 4.5 years under the Biden administration like fucking wildfire, bro. I mean, you know what my truck looks like. I drive the Trump truck. If you want to know who I am, pick up the book. Don't buy it because it's against me. But they wrote a book about me called White Rule Rage, The End of Democracy. That's my truck from the beginning of all this. And you can go through my videos through the past, 6 years and see the progression of everything that's been put on my truck. Because each time they vandalize it, I put more stuff on there to make them fucking be offended. You know what I mean? So, it is what it is. I'm about to post a school board meeting I spoke at the day before yesterday. So I'm doing school board meetings again. So we've got all this news coming out today. Of course, on New Year's Eve, when the news cycle is like that, everything on YouTube in the feed right now was from either 5 months ago, 7 months ago, because everybody's channel's down because it's the last day of the year and nobody's doing nothing. I'm currently locked out of X. Oh, let me expose that for everybody. If you don't know what's going on with X and you were wondering why all these accounts have disappeared all of a sudden, Elon Musk turned X fully over to Grok. So Grok is fully moderating X now. Mr., there should be humans moderating all the time. No, they've now turned it over to X. And I've posted 13 times in 2 days my account has been locked and my revenue stream has been blocked. Locked and blocked, okay, by AI. Every single time I have appealed it, I won the appeal. Well, I got another block today, and they won't give me an option to appeal it. They're just blanket statements. I'm making a blanket statement. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm telling someone to get violent or anything like that. But as you know, Grok is also ran by what? The Google fucking server. So it has to go by the Google terms and conditions. So it has to be politically correct. Like I showed you, I argued with Grok the other day that Charlie was dead. He said Charlie Kirk was still alive. Grok, so I just called Grok a he. Holy fuck. Look what's happening here. God dang, did Elon Musk sneak the chip into my head when I didn't know it? Oh, yes. All funding has been blocked to Minnesota child care. The fraud has just gone through the fucking roof at this point, and now they're tracing it. Have y'all heard about these fucking Somalis they picked up today? Hauling ass to fucking Washington, D.C. with suitcases full of fucking cash? Shut the fuck up, man. You can't make this shit the fuck up, bro. You can't make this shit the fuck up. These people are so fucking retarded. They're being investigated for fraud, and they're running around with suitcases full of fucking cash, bro. That's fucking insane, man. That's absolute insanity. Chicago set New Year's Eve curfew for teens as murder rate hits 412 for 2025. 412 murders in 2025 in Chicago. That's fucking insane, dude. That's insanity. Disney agrees to their $10 million civil penalties for what? For violating children's privacy laws. hold on, parents. Wait a minute. Something ain't right here. Let's read this. Something ain't fucking right here. I don't identify as anything. If I gotta tell you I'm a fucking man, then holy fuck, I must be the ugliest woman on the fucking planet, dude. And I'm not a pretty man by any means. Fucking shit. Like, you walk up to me with a full-ass beard and your fucking Adam's apple is bigger than mine. Clearly, you're a fucking dude with a dick between your legs. If you don't have a dick, you're a woman. If you have both, you're a fucking hermaphrodite. And only one is dominant and only one feels pleasure and works. So, I mean, that's the fact of the matter. There's two genders. They're not a spectrum. Everything's not on a fucking spectrum. Your brain is on a fucking spectrum. Out of reality is what's going on here. Your brain doesn't live in the functioning fucking world, and your IQ is like 70 or under, which makes you functionally retarded in America. Okay, we know that's not Somali, because in Somalia, the average IQ is about 57, so functionally retarded is like 40. Holy fuck. People can't even speak with a fucking brain level of 40, bro. That's insane. Yeah, your brain level like 30. When is that going to pop up in here in a second? But hey, at least I can fucking read above a 9th grade level, clearly, you know? Damn, 19% of Gen Z can't read above a 9th grade level. Blah, blah, blah. 9th grade level. Let me slow down. Hold on, Disney. First of all, Disney is a children's place. Can we agree on that? Period. Disney is a children's place. It's been a staple forever. It's a children's place to keep children safe. Okay? First of all, that bullshit right there got nothing to do with kid zones. You people are weird, sick, grooming fucking pedophiles. That's the LGBTQ flag. Because a fucking normal flag, or rainbow, a normal rainbow looks different. They change the colors to different orientations. This is not a Jesus rainbow. This is a demonic rainbow. This is a demonic rainbow. Lives with demonic grace. So let's have a little look-see. How did Disney violate your children's privacy? The U.S. Justice Department said a federal court has approved a settlement with Disney that will require the company to pay $10 million in civil penalties over allegations it violated children's online privacy rules tied to its YouTube presence. Holy fuck. According to the announcement, the case involved Disney Worldwide Services Incorporated and Disney Entertainment Operations, LLC. Federal Trade Commission allegations claimed the companies failed to properly flag certain Disney YouTube videos, content as directed towards children, a step that determines how the platform handles data collection and advertising. Well, we already knew that was going on. We exposed that 4 years ago. Why is that a big story again? Why isn't let me pull up a bigger story for you. And I bet none of you even know about this in the state of Florida. This should have been some of the biggest news in the fucking world. It happened a few years ago, but we're going to go back over it. And it's about Disney. Don't worry. We're going to get you Disney in here. Disney child traffickers. 1,800 arrested. Disney employees among 157 nabbed in Polk County. Disney workers among 18 arrested in Polk County. Oh, don't make me go through every single fucking story to count up all 1,800 of them. Operation Child Protector speaks to Disney sex traffickers. Why don't most people know about this? Polk County Sheriff Grady Judge announced the arrest. Help find him. Polk County Sheriff Judge. 103 more people during a human trafficking. 157 more nabbed in Polk County, Florida. Disney employees among 157 nabbed. 18 arrested outside of Disney Park for child sex trafficking. How come nobody knows about this? Polk County Sheriff Grady Judd again. 4 more Disney employees arrested in Florida, human trafficking. Let's pull that one up. Let's pull them all up. I don't want to pull them all up. Diddycrats. 4 Disney employees arrested in Florida. Human trafficking child predator sting. Hold on. Hold on. Okay, he's got pictures. Hold on. He's got pictures. Look. So this is when I was speaking at school board meetings when we were going after all these pedophiles. Okay. Why was none of this the biggest news?
Was a 14-year-old girl.
Oh, did I mention that he just happens to be a lifeguard at the Polynesian Resort?
All right, just so you know, I've known this man my entire life. I grew up in this town. Him and my mom went to school together. Before he was the sheriff, this guy used to come pick me up when he was first a deputy. When I was a little kid and I'd run away from home.
For Disney.
And yes, he's really like this in real life. This isn't an act.
Sheriff Grady Judd identified several other Disney employees accused of soliciting a prostitute.
This is the Honorable Daniel Peters.
Sheriff Judd said Peters is a retired judge from Cook County, Illinois, who thought he was meeting up with an escort.
He said, quote, "I've been on the other side of this." Well, I'd like to ask him today, so which side do you like best?
In one case, detectives had to reschedule a meeting. The sheriff says Bradenton's Seth Phillips demanded money.
If you remember from 2020, we were covering this nonstop. 18 of these pedophiles are the pedophiles we exposed down here in Port Charlotte, Florida. 12 of them were from Fort Myers. They were all over the place. Now, some of the largest sex trafficking and child grooming networks in the fucking country are in Florida. Miami is one of the largest. Orlando, Fort Myers is a massive one. I've been trying to expose the DCF and the fucking Child Protective Services, especially allegedly the Guardian of Litem project that comes and takes people's children for no reason. They're all fat, really pissed off lesbians that hate fucking men, and fucking they're liberal as a motherfucker. They take the pastiest white kids and put them in the most ghetto fucking areas, and they teach them to hate men and all kinds of shit while they've got them with them. And I've been trying to expose this. They hurt kids. Nobody cares in Florida. It's a problem. I've contacted FDLE, the AG, Ron DeSantis. I've talked to everybody. It's just absolutely. Thank you. Oh, Atlanta, abso-fucking-lutely. So is Marietta and Ackworth, right there. All those areas right there. We did a sting in Marietta, Georgia, and 5 years ago, and it was fucking absolute insanity. And up in Calhoun, Georgia, around that area too, Calhoun, Cartersville, all those rural areas, kind of up there, like Ruby Ridge and shit. A lot of problems because they go up. What they'll do is some of the biggest places in that area would be like Pikeville, Tennessee, because they have what's called Luminary Mountain. That's rural land. The government cannot go on that land. So that's rural land that you can go live on, and it's not owned by the government, the county, the state, nothing. It's on the Trail of Tears up by Pikeville, Tennessee. It's called Cherokee Ridge and Luminary Mountain. I lived on Cherokee Ridge, and everybody used to call us, they would say we were the Nazis on the mountain. Me and my brother and a bunch of people lived up there, and we would go after these fucking pedophiles and just fuck them up because it's rural land. Federal agents can't go up there. You hear machine gun fire up there all the time. Those people were fucking crazy up there, bro. Like straight crazy. Hills have eyes type people. But there's also a place over there called Fall Creek Falls that's a beautiful place. You know what I mean? So if you're ever near Pikeville, Tennessee, check out Fall Creek Falls and you will have a great day. But everywhere you go in America right now in 2026, as of tonight, is a problem with that kind of thing. Like our schools, like if you remember my old channel, our schools, I spoke at school board meetings. I've spoken at over 400 and something school board meetings in the past 5 years. I've threatened to drag these people out by their hair. We've gone in armed. We've gone in full body armor, ready to go at Sarasota school board meetings. These people are straight pedophiles, okay? Sarasota school board is one of the most corrupt school boards in the state of Florida besides Orlando and fucking Miami, like Dade, around Dade County area. Horrible fucking people. I've got Val, repost them. I'm real pissed. They're on here. I've got a bunch of school board meetings posted way back. I'll repost them. we started a whole movement. Like Moms for Liberty didn't exist in Florida until me and her started speaking it. When I say me and her, hold on, in case you don't know who we are. Her, she's usually with me everywhere I go. She speaks at the school board meetings too. Literally, you'll see. Literally, when I get heated up, she starts speaking to the crowd, and she gets the crowd all heated up. You know what I mean? But in that specific meeting that I'm speaking of, like everybody got up from the front, and even the moms moved forward and marched on the fucking school board and all that. We ended up getting 2 of them fired and electing new school board officials that day. But that's what we got to do. We all got to get out here in our local communities. Elon is more than gross. Have you ever seen her without that thing on her fucking head? Holy fuck, bro. What the fuck? It's like a fucking cartoon character from Roger Rabbit. She looks like a cartoon character. But they all look like Ilhan Omar. Have you noticed that? Every single one of these fucking Somalis that's gotten arrested, they all look like each other's brother and sisters. Because they are. They are each other's brother and sister. Every one of them. Y'all know about that, right? They all fuck their relatives in Somalia. They're literally 87% of their country is so generationally inbred. The highest IQ is 67. I'm not even joking. I'm not making fun of them. I'm serious. Those are actual statistics. That's why do you think Somaliland is now a thing? You know what I mean? But also, what you got to understand about Somaliland, those are horrible fucking people. What? Those are horrible fucking people. Some horrible things were done. Big pardons were given for all that shit. Russia's now backing Somalia. China just went on TV and backed Somalia militarily. Iran saying they're at war with us. China's building up to fucking. We told you people, listen, here's the point blank fact of the matter. The Biden administration let all of these countries infiltrate our country to the point where we're fucked. They're going to try to go to war with us one way or another. We got so fucked in the last 4.5 years. 20 million people, bro. 20 million people. How many of them do you think were Chinese nationals? We know of 20,000 for a fact because they found 20,000 nationals, Chinese nationals fucking IDs. How many of them do you think were Muslim? Arabic. Look at all these Arabic people fucking going around committing horrible fucking terrorist events or planning to and building bombs in our country. How many dirty bombs do you think they got into our fucking country? You know what I mean? How many dirty bombs do you think they have here? They said we're on high alert for tonight and tomorrow for mass terror attacks. I don't think it's going to happen because we're on high alert for it. But something might happen. Something could be happening right now for all we know. At midnight, something might explode. We don't know what's going on. And that's a problem. We don't live in America when we have to wake up every day and check the news to see if somebody died. Somebody important died. That's not America. America is you wake up, you have your cup of fucking coffee. If you smoke a cigarette. Or your vape, whatever the fuck you do, read the paper, you know what I mean? Say good morning, Jesus. We don't want to have to wake up and wonder, oh shit, is somebody waiting outside to kill me? Or is somebody vandalized my shit? Or did one of my friends get murdered last night when they were out doing something? Did a bunch of Christians die last night? Did a bunch of fucking shit get burnt to the ground? That's not America. You don't live in America when every day you have to wake up and worry about your safety. You know what I mean? And that's a problem. And the only way we're going to fix that, it's not through the government, guys. It's through us. We got to come together in our local communities and worry about our community and then spread that fucking knowledge to the next community so they can worry about their community and so on and so forth. If we all just try to fix our community, we can get something done because we have a voice in our community because we live there. But when I live in Florida and I'm speaking for you in California, I ain't got no fucking voice in California. You know what I mean? All these social media personalities traveling everywhere in the world, you know what I mean? All over fucking America, trying to voice this and voice that. Man, if you would have spent that much time in your own state trying to expose your fucking state, you know how much more you could have actually gotten done? Why aren't we writing bills and taking them to the Capitol steps in our fucking states? You know you can do that, right? You could write a bill and propose it as a citizen. You don't have to be a fucking representative of this country to propose a bill. I'm just a bill sitting on Capitol Hill. Remember that? It's I mean, we got more news. We got more shit happening. We can get into some of it. Let's see if I'm still locked out of X. Let's try to go into X and see if I'm still locked out of X for violent hate speech. And this is a new thing too. I never had to do this before now. You know, do you have to do this when you sign into X? Verify you're a human? Is that because a robot's now controlling the company? Oh! So look, it's time to take these cities by force. Donald Trump, otherwise the people are going to have to do something. A blanket statement. A literal blanket statement. Violating the rules against violent speech. What the fuck? This is not America, guys. This definitely isn't Elon Musk's free speech site, right? I'm going to expose the fuck out of this shit. I got 3 of these this week. For shit like this. For shit like this. What, they set up an HTTP? Can I click on this? No, they won't let me click on this. But what about the look, it won't let me appeal it, will it? Will it let me appeal it? It'll let me appeal it on the computer. I'm gonna appeal it. Right now, you're gonna watch me appeal this. And we'll see if it unlocks it tomorrow. It took about 24 to 48 hours the other day. I literally was back on X for an hour. Fucking hour. It fucking banned me. And the other one was definitely not hate speech or fucking Islamophobia, is what I was, your appeal, 1 post. You deleted 0 posts. You're damn right. I just won't, if I have to delete it, I just won't use the fucking app because it's not an American free speech app. Happy New Year's to everybody, even though it's only 8:30. Happy New Year's Eve. Please note that while we review your appeal, you won't be able to access your X account. So it's guilty until proven innocent, right? Oh, yeah, the bad times haven't even started. Even, it doesn't matter. People are like, oh, I just want to be able to afford things. No. You want to not build it. Man, look, our priorities are backwards. What I want to not have happen is I don't want to get murdered just because I get out here and functionally tell you exactly what's being said instead of making up a bunch of shit about what people are saying. I was like, oh, you're lying about that. I'm like, I'm showing it to you from the person that said its mouth. So then that means they're lying, right? I don't get it. I don't get your lefty logic. I really don't. You guys give me some of the weirdest comments. I'm like, some of the shit you say about me is not even me, is the funny part. Like, you guys got to know that half of these accounts you see out here, if it doesn't have my logo in it that's on this account, if it does not have my Berserker Patriot Store symbol, if you don't see this or one of my trademarks that I fucking own, and if you use it, I can sue the fuck out of you for it. I own the Berserker Patriot Store. Like, if you use Berserker Patriot Store, I trademark DBA business own that. So this is my, if you see this, I created this symbol. There's no, it won't let me pull it up on this one. That's dumb as fuck. Open image in new tab. Yes. It's as big as you make it. What the fuck? Anyway, if you see this or any version of this, I own it. Mine. I created this. Okay. So if you don't see that symbol, it's not me. And clearly, if you can see through my beard, it's AI. Okay. There's 4 AI accounts on YouTube acting like me. And there's so many people that have fucking accounts like, you know, they're usually in my comments. They got accounts with my name on them and all kinds of shit. It's been really fun, but I just want you to understand there are some pretty good AI videos going around about me right now. And I don't have the best functioning camera right now. And yeah, I just want you to understand. I don't traffic animals. I don't fucking traffic guns. I don't do any of that stuff. They're trying to make me out to be a bomb builder in some of them. I'm honored. I'm honored, but I'm getting questions. So let's go. It's coming. Yeah, a big solar storm speeds the Earth as a planetary alignment. So there's supposed to be this massive atmospheric solar river that's supposed to go over top of everything. And we might be getting just like flooded like crazy soon, just like fucking California and all them just did. Sheriff Grady Judd, 24 students arrested in 28 days for Florida school threats. That was a year ago. This stuff was already happening. That big bang was probably a car getting in a wreck on the highway out here. There's like 5 of them a night. Massive, horrible wrecks out there. It's the only place kids can race around here. I'm not mad at them. Whatever. You put your life in danger when you buy a car with power. You know. HUD reportedly uncovers $5.8 billion in erroneous federal assistance under Biden. Okay, let's. A bunch of stuff getting uncovered, but it's Trump uncovering it, so don't worry. It's oh my God, nothing is right, nothing is true.
A new housing and urban development report finding that under the Biden administration, billions of dollars in federal rental assistance went to ineligible recipients, including dead people. Fox Business correspondent Max Gordon has the story. Hi, Max.
Hey there, Taylor. Well, HUD Secretary Scott Turner claims that around $5.8 billion in federal rental assistance was potentially sent out in error in 2024 under the Biden administration. This included about $77 million in payments to around 30,000 dead tenants. About $150 million was paid out to people with non-existent social security numbers, and around $288 million was paid to support excessively high rent. But according to HUD, the vast majority of these incorrect payments, $5.2 billion of them.
No, arresting ICE is civil war. That's civil war. That'd be it. New York would rally for California. Chicago would rally for California. Pennsylvania would rally for California. All of Minnesota would rally for California. And the rest of us would rally for, the people trying to take the illegals. That would absolutely be, that would be the definition of a civil war. Like the beginning, past hot conflict, into hot conflict, when one side of your government is battling with the other side of your government, and then one side of your political party is battling with the other side of the political party. But in that situation, we live in America, and we're not in the 1700s. So realistically, do you think that the cops would go against the federal agents in California? Because, I don't know, they might. I mean, they might. There's a lot of liberals in California, man. A lot of fucking liberals in California. Holy fuck. They'll be like, California's red. Well, they never vote red. So... And clearly, that's only if Eric Swalwell wins the gubernatorial race. Do you think he will? I think he will. With that, just that right there. Oh yeah, 100%. Look, it's Donald Trump's fault. No. Now the Somalis are blaming Israel on the fraud. Israel is the reason that they've had to commit all this fraud. Shut the fuck up, bro. They can't even give us good excuses. They don't even have a backup plan, for getting caught. These motherfuckers have actual empty buildings with no businesses and no childcare in them, with people that don't even speak English. First of all, you can't open a daycare service if you're fucking just in this country. You understand that, right? Not legally, because you haven't been assimilated to this country yet. So that in itself shows that we don't have what America was originally built on. Because do you really think any of the forefathers would have let any of these Muslims in our country? If you do, then you're functionally retarded. Okay? You're functionally retarded because 96% of immigration into America in the beginning of America for the first 100 years was predominantly European and Anglo-Saxon, not other fucking races. Okay? Understand that. predominantly Englishmen and British and Irish and Scottish and places like that, Polish, not fucking black slaves, not fucking, do you think that when we came to America, do most of liberals, honestly, think that we brought black slaves here when we came to America? Because we didn't. You understand that, right? We didn't. That's not what happened. We brought Irish slaves with us. We brought white slaves with us. But it is what it is. You honestly think white people went to the shores of Africa and took black people? They didn't. The Arabs did. The ones that you're protesting for every day are the ones that went and took black people. Arabs that still own black people as slaves and every other race as slaves in Arab countries. I'm just saying. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. I'm sorry that white people fought a whole war for you to give you freedom when no other person has, no other race has, just us. Only us. Only America. Let's all you motherfuckers come over here and live without killing you or telling you what you have to do or anything like that. Sorry, white people created that for you because there's no other country like America. Only America. You say black people built America. What'd you build? What? Tell me. Tell me. What the Native Americans built before we got here. They were fucking sacrificing each other and eating each other's hearts, sacrificing each other to fucking animal gods and shit. They were scalping each other and cutting people's heads off. I'm Native American. I say this. It's cultural appropriate. It's not cultural appropriation for me. I have Native American blood in me. So my people were savage. Savage motherfucker. So savage, we didn't sign the accord in the 1830 like everybody else did, and we fought to almost the last man, and there's only 2,200 of us left in the world, but we did not sign the accord, so we do not get any of the help. And then you have the gumption to tell us that the Seminole Indian football team is fucking racist. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Fucking cultural appropriation. You canceled Mrs. Butterworth, dude. Yosemite Sam. Can't we just get back to like the Looney Tune type era where fucking TV was just offensive as fuck and it was funny? Can't we just get back to like the Jackass era and the South Park and fucking all that shit where we just offended each other and had a good time? Because, in the 90s, even in 2000, there was no bullshit. You know what I was doing when I was young? I was going to concerts and I was smoking fucking pot and eating fucking mushrooms, bro. I wasn't running around trying to cut my dick off and worried about fucking doing some weird pranks on people. None of these YouTube videos are even real anymore. None of them. They're all either staged or they're motherfucking AI. You people can't even get organic fucking views on your fucking YouTube. It's literally staged. Like all these pedophiles getting arrested videos and all this shit, all these bounty hunters going after these people. You don't notice that it's the same people every 3 or 4 videos. They're fake. Okay? It's propaganda shit. It's the kind of stuff that China used to do back in the day where this is what the law is, so we're going to make a video and people will just start to see. You say ICE is evil? Well, hopefully they come get you. Hopefully you get denaturalized. If you're an American citizen, you get kicked the fuck out. If you think ICE is evil, get the fuck out. If you don't like deportations and you want open borders, get the fuck out. Because the alternative is getting your fucking face stomped into the concrete. That's the only other alternative at this point. There are no other alternatives. We see you at any of these fucking rallies in Florida when ICE is here, we're going to stomp on you. We're not going to protest you. We're not going to fucking tolerate you. You're not going to come here and do fucking dumb shit. We're going to smash you the moment you cross our fucking borders, bro. There's no more tolerance for you people. There is no more fucking sitting back and not getting involved. You try to fucking come protest ICE agents here with your stupid fucking faggot whistles and your pussy's so big we can see them from the fucking moon. That whistles will go down your throat and you're going to start whistling out of your asshole for the rest of your life. Okay? Which you probably already do. It's probably like whenever you fart. You know what I mean? Because you people are all weird. You do weird, so you want to sexualize everything. You want to fucking keep illegals in this country that You know why they want these illegals here, right? Because with these illegals, it's normal to fuck little kids in their fucking countries. That's why these pedophiles want these illegals here. Because Somalis fuck little kids, Muslims fuck little kids. They're all fucking pedophiles. Muhammad married a 6-year-old and fucking raped her when she was 9. Fuck you people. I like my bacon on a burning Quran in the morning. It makes it more crispy. Are you serious? Fuck, I don't have tolerance for any of this shit. I'm the most canceled, censored motherfucker you will know, and you won't stop me until you kill me. I'll make a new channel every time. I will keep coming out here. I will keep talking to the best of my ability to give you knowledge. While everybody else is out here talking about how some dude wants to cut his dick off, I'm going to tell you that Nick Shirley, he's doing some good shit out here. Go check his fucking channel out. The liberal hive mind, he has made his own fucking social media to where you can't get censored and you can get good uncensored memes. 5mind.com. Go to 5mind.com for all your needs with memes, talks, and discuss with other patriots. 5mind.com, brought to you from the creator of Liberal Hive Mind on YouTube. Go check out Tim Pool if he comes back. We don't even know if we're going to have Tim anymore. Go check out Steven Crowder on Rumble. He's just going more hardcore. Dan Bongino, where you at, baby? I was hoping for a New Year's Eve show from you, Dan. Come on, brother. So you better believe we're going to cover Dan's show live because I want to make make comments on everything he says. I want to hear everything. Who's going to jail? Did you say I'm going to jail? Not in my fucking town, bro. Not in fucking Port. Not anymore. Not after everything that happened in 2020 here. They won't ever fucking arrest me here again. Ain't gonna happen. I promise you, I could have more people at my front door faster than they can have people at my front door. I promise you, I have more people than they even have sheriffs in my fucking community. They can be here within 5 to 10 minutes, heavy as a motherfucker. No, there ain't no more. You think I'm going to let the fucking government put me in this system? Shit. I will fucking go to war over that shit. I'm a law-abiding citizen. Everything I say is covered under the United States Constitution. Everything I do is covered under the United States Constitution. If you don't fucking like it, you're like, oh, you're one of them sovereigns. No, I'm not a sovereign. Everybody's a sovereign citizen. That means authority under God, not under man. Oh, you're one of those sovereigns. Well, then you don't believe in God. You don't love God. Everybody's a sovereign. It's a fucking Christian. Sovereign citizen literally means you have authority under God, not under a United States government. You're one of those sovereign. No, I'm just a free American that believes in the Constitution and what it was written of. That's what I am. I love my country and the histories and traditions of my country. And if you don't like that, get the fuck out. We need to become colonizers again is what we need to do. Let's start colonizing shit. That's the best way to fucking make it better. It's the best way to make it better. If you don't like that and that hurts your little pussy, thank you, Billy. Thank you. If that hurts your little vagina, I'm sorry. But you can go talk to Tim Waltz. He got some tampons in the boys' bathroom for you. You know, that shit's crazy. Men can give birth. No, they can't. Chicks that cut their hair off can give birth. Chicks that are mentally ill and think they're a dude can give birth. Listen, just because you put a rubber strap on doesn't mean you're a dude. You know what I mean? And you people that do this whole open wound between your legs shit, you trans people, what the actual fuck? You have that's a wound. It's not a fucking vagina. It's an actual wound that you have to shove something in or it will close and kill you from infection. It's a wound that you have to keep open. Or it's going to close up and you will never fucking be right again in your life, or it might kill you. That's fucking insane. That's the craziest shit ever. Demons. That's the only way you can explain any of this is demons. But I'm sorry. We digressed a really long way. Let's get into the now more $5.8 billion in enormous federal assistance under the Biden administration fraud. $5.8 billion more we just uncovered right now. So...
Then were made to people with inactive SAM.gov accounts, the government website.
I'm going to let you watch this for a second. I've got to get a drink that's not this fucking
programs,
sink
tenant-based
water.
rental assistance and project-based rental assistance. Project-based
time
rental
I
assistance
got a couple
subsidizes
seconds.
housing units, so
I'll be
low-income
right back.
individuals
Bear
can
with me.
afford them, with the government paying the property owner. Then tenant-based rental assistance goes directly to the person in need. In total, HUD sent out about $50.4 billion in rental assistance payments in 2024 to more than 204,000 individuals. The potential error flagged by HUD would make up for around 11.5% of these payments. Secretary Turner said in a statement, HUD will continue investigating shocking results and will take appropriate action to hold bad actors accountable. We reached out to former HUD Secretary Marcia Fudge and her former Deputy Secretary Adrian Todman for reaction to the report, but have not heard back. Meanwhile, the U.S. continues to struggle with a shortage of affordable housing. According to the National Low-Income Housing Coalition, no state has an adequate supply of affordable rental housing for the lowest income renters. And nationwide, there's a shortage of 7.1 million rental homes available to renters with extremely low incomes that are at or below the federal poverty line. In its 2026 priorities, HUD outlined that it wants to meet these affordable housing needs in part by cutting down on fraud, waste, and abuse. Taylor, back to you.
Max, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm so tired of all these fucking words. Let's cut down on fraud, waste, abuse. How about we just arrest all the motherfuckers that are violating the law? How about we just do that? How about we give some solutions for these pollutions and not some motherfucking excuses? How about let's fix the cities right now? I'm going to give you a solution. Might not be your favorite solution, but at this point, it's the only solution for this pollution. Okay, so we take Pete Hegseth, we take Tom Homan, we take the military, we take the federal agents. With their powers combined, we are now Captain Planet. Okay, we send them into all of the cities with the military, not the fucking National Guard, with the fucking 29 palm savage motherfucking Marines that literally are trained for this. This is what they're trained for. This is their job. Okay, we arrest every motherfucking politician that's violated the Constitution, period. I don't care who you are. Arrest them all. Okay? Arrest all the prosecutors violating the law. All of them. Arrest all the cops. While we're cleaning up the cities, we're training and rehiring cops that know the Constitution and will back the Constitution. And only back the Constitution. Because understand, if every cop in the country backed the Constitution 100%, our country would never go into disarray. You understand that, right? Because every politician that's broken the law would be arrested, because under the Constitution, that's our authority. Well, we don't have the Constitution under federal. No, under the Constitution, you have the fucking authority. We don't have the authority because it's federal. No, you took an oath to the Constitution. That's the only thing you took an oath to uphold the land, to the Constitution, and to the people of America. You didn't take an oath to the governor. You didn't take an oath to the state. You didn't take an oath to anything other than the fucking Constitution. Any law that's contrary to the Constitution is null and void and does not exist. So the officers uphold the Constitution. Therefore, no illegal laws go into place. They go over here because they're null and void and don't exist. So they do not get upheld. Any politicians that created these little, I'm giving you representations, because I know not everybody can keep up. Every politician that created these illegal laws, gone. Oh, they were just arrested. Hey, look, we had a special election, just had them replaced with people that know what the fuck they're doing. Well, that was real quick, wasn't it? And in the meantime, the people that took them out can run what needs to be ran and get it the fuck done. That just fixed all of our cities. That just fixed the cities. It took the crime out of the cities. It took the corruption out of the cities. And it put good people back into the cities. It's literally that easy. That's the only way to do it. There's no other way to do it. Sending in the fucking National Guard and we'll arrest criminals, but we're not going to arrest the criminals that are passing the fucking illegal laws. Does nothing. Does fucking nothing. We're going to go arrest a few murderers and a couple of hundred criminal aliens here and a couple hundred criminal aliens there. Well, damn, what about the other 30,000 you just fucking passed up in the process? No. We need to go in. We need to go in and enforce, and we need to do this shit because we have not much time left. Understand that. We have not much time left. Midterms are coming up. Midterms aren't looking good. Midterms aren't looking good for anybody this might be one of the lowest outcomes we've ever had in the midterms, because most of the boomer generation died off last year, this year. The boomer generation won't even be a thing in the next presidential election. My generation is the largest voting bloc in the next generation, in the next election. Okay? And then in the next presidential election after 28, my generation will be the smallest bloc. Now, what do you think when 67% of Gen Alpha believes communism is good and 62% of Gen Z thinks communism is good? This is the last shot we have, because we have 2 entire generations after mine, which are, you do realize Gen Z's 35 right now, right? Gen Z is the age that they can run for all these motherfucking seats for representation. Right now is the most vital elections we've ever had. This will be the last chance any Generation X people that want to stand up for this country and do something have an actual chance to run that's not against someone, because Gen Z is going to back Gen Z. They're no longer going to vote for people once Gen Z gets in there, because they know how to speak to them. We sound cringy and fucking old, just like when we were voting when we were younger. We didn't have anyone we really wanted to vote for. But guess what? When we got older, we all became Republicans. You know what I mean? Once we grew up, we all became Republicans, most of us. The rest of you, well, we're sorry you're functionally retarded. You can't help it. So, this is not a paid promotion, by the way. But, if you have a problem keeping nutrition, you have a problem staying healthy. Okay? You like energy drinks, you like to stay awake. This is probably the best product I've ever had, and it's $1.25 for 5 drinks. Pure kick. Okay? No crash whatsoever. No crash off of it whatsoever. But as you can see, I am fucking wide awake right now from this. Okay, these things are fucking awesome. These, if you need potassium, vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin E, magnesium, which if you're in my generation, you need magnesium. Zinc, which your body does not produce on its own. Psyllium, manganese, chromium, and chloride. Everything you need to hydrate your body. $1.25, you get 6 packs, 6 drinks for $1.25. They're really good. The purple Kool-Aid one's really fucking fire. The banana, strawberry, mango one's fire as hell. For those, the pure kick. I'm telling you, you want to save money and you want to replace your fucking magnesium fucking pills that you take, because I also take these. If you want cheap magnesium that works, there's 12 different types of magnesium. You got to wonder what type of magnesium you're taking and for what. But I also take calcium, magnesium, and zinc. Dollar General, $5 for a 30-day fucking supply. $5 for a 30-day supply. The cheaper vitamins that you get are the ones that are going to say, most times, made in America on them. The name brands are the ones that are corporate. Remember, corporate's bad for you. Small company, good for you. If they're selling them at the Dollar General, and yes, they sell these brands all over the place, but they have no artificial anything in them. They don't have any glucinates. They don't have any dyes. They have nothing in them. Nothing whatever. I'm not selling anything. I'm just telling you this. You can go to the Dollar General and buy cheap shit. But they're turning the frogs game. And man, I'm telling you right now, they bought over 67,000 guillotines under the Obama administration. And Obama drone striked an American citizen. I love Alex Jones. I was on the InfoWars for that school board meeting that I was telling you about in 2020. Then cancel culture happened. Thanks, Alex. Thanks, buddy. I love you, man. I was just chatting with him the other day. I love you. But I never got canceled until my videos popped up on his old InfoWars channel. That was the first time I ever got canceled, was when I was in allegiance with Alex Jones. And I'll tell you what, I get canceled all over again. Because what they did to that man was fucking insanity. You don't know about that? Asim al-Awlaki and his father in a country that we weren't even at war with no congressional fucking approval whatsoever, drone strike 2 American citizens saying he was going after terrorists and there were no terrorists at the cafe whatsoever. He simply killed 2 Americans that he didn't get along with. You didn't know about that? Look it up. Hey, listen. They're in my fucking... Listen to how bad they're talking about me, and they're in my fucking chats. You know what I mean? What's that say about them? If I'm such a piece of shit like they say, they're in all of my fucking videos. They're on all of my fucking social medias. My trolls are my biggest fans. These people love me. They don't hate me. Don't let them fool you. A lot of these people, they'll tell you flat out, they're getting paid to be here. They get paid to be here. I got nothing against free market capital. This is America, baby. These people can talk shit about me all they want. You know what I mean? That's fine. You know, you want to make a buck? Fuck. How do I get paid? Israel, where's my $10,000 check at, motherfucker? Shit. I like money. The police are too light on the criminals and too hard on the law-abiding citizens. The police are the criminals. You give me one cop that knows the Constitution in 2026 and I'll shit fucking my pants for you. I'll tell you that right now. You find me one cop that knows fucking first 4 amendments of the Constitution to the letter by heart, and I'll shit my pants on live fucking stream. That's how confident I am on knowing that they won't. Because you know what they do in Florida after the hurricanes when people are pulling guns on each other and looting and rioting? They literally tell us to go fuck ourselves in Southwest Florida. And literally, I don't know if it's on this channel. I'm going to go through my old videos. I haven't been through any of my videos in years from like 2-3 years ago. But I'm going to go through my videos from when they literally on video told people in the parking lot at Wawa to go fuck themselves, got in their car while people were pointing guns at each other. You know what I mean? I had to make a phone call and we got the National Guard over to Wawa because they were the only people open for 2 fucking weeks with gas and nobody else had it. Because if you don't know, Wawa is one of the biggest DEI corporations on the planet. Okay, understand that as well. And understand they own their own fuel refinery. They own their own gas company. That's why they're able to have all this stuff that they have. You know, all the food you eat from Wawa is pre-frozen. It's not fresh. It's all gross, nasty shit. They don't do great things to their food in there. It all comes in a bag. They drop it in a hot water bucket, and then they open that bag and pour it into the bins. That's what you're eating from Wawa. They have the best burritos, you all say. Man, fuck. Their coffee's watered down and they suck. I wasn't giving that as a good promo to Wawa. I exposed the fuck out of Wawa. They literally fired their Florida managers during the Biden administration and brought gay liberal Democrats down here to run the fucking stores and push DEI policies. It was fucking insane. I can't believe we've been on here for 1 hour and 17 minutes. I'm going to be honest. I had to push myself to go live tonight. I busted my ass at work today. And I was tired and I almost didn't do it. But I love you guys very much. And I said, I got to go live because you know what? Charlie's not here anymore. So every time I get tired, I think about Charlie Kirk. And I think, well, fuck, I got to keep going. You know what I mean? Because by all means, they have destroyed the legacy of Charlie Kirk. We're about to do a whole live coming up soon on just Charlie Kirk. Because, man, I miss my brother, man. I miss him so freaking much. If you notice, they're not even really playing his videos anymore. They put them behind, a lot of them behind a paywall. Man, Charlie is in heaven, bro. And he's looking down right now, just shaking his head. Like, because the opportunity we had was fucking right there. We had the opportunity to get this country back. What happened? People like Candace Owens and all of you went fucking insane. But she started off as a progressive and then came to our side. You know what I mean? We are all Charlie Kirk. Like it says in massive letters on the side of my truck. We are all Charlie Kirk. All of us that believe in a good country. You know, to anyone that says he's evil, you were literally functionally retarded. And in my opinion,
in my opinion, I'm not calling for violence, YouTube, but you deserve to be just, I don't know, not here. You deserve to not be allowed to be in this country. If you think that anything Charlie Kirk ever did or said was evil or hateful, you're functionally retarded and you don't deserve to live in America. Because he was the only person that would literally ask you what your feelings were and how you were feeling while he was debating with you. And he would ask you for your point of view every time. And every single time he said, I understand. I understand. You know what I mean? He always came to you from a Christian point of view, always came to you from a Christian point of view. And he was always the nicest person in the world to you. There ain't nobody out there to be nice to you anymore, though. There ain't nobody out there. You lost. You understand that, right? Nobody's pushing any of these DEI things anymore. Now we're fighting fucking terrorists, real terrorists, not you fucking weirdos. You're done. Your movement's done. You guys aren't in the streets no more. You guys aren't out here. Are you out here protesting still? Because nobody knows about it. Because nobody gives a fuck anymore. Nobody cares. Your movement's over. It's ended. Okay. Now it's the Muslim and communist movement in America that we're fighting. It's been that movement the whole time. But you were the useful idiots. The Antifa movement's gone. The fucking, all that shit's done. You're all done. We told you. The moment we deem them as foreign terrorists, they're going to disappear in the wind like a fucking queef in the wind is what they are. They're a queef in the fucking wind right now. So it is what it is. I love you guys. Listen. We'll be live again tomorrow. And I hope, you know what? If I'm up and about at midnight, what the fuck was that? Damn. That sounded like a bad one. Did y'all hear that? That sounded like a real bad fucking wreck. You gotta understand, Veterans Boulevard is like 1,000 feet in that direction. You know, I'm pointing that way, by the way. It's 1,000 feet in that direction. So if there's one thing I miss more than anybody from when I had my big channel, it's the camera guy I had, because I'm horrible with fucking videography. And I'm horrible at fucking editing. I can speak, I can talk. I don't care if you come attack me. But when it comes to being behind the camera, I'm no good. I got my fucking phone on a tripod right now. Damn. Oh, that sucks. So we're going to do everything we can do. I have not been verified yet for my damn Google 1-800 number, and I don't know what's going on with that. So I'm just going to download a Text Me app, and I'm going to pay for it. So understand, you're going to waste my money anyway because you're liberals. So if you call in, you do dumb shit, I'm going to hang up on you immediately because I'm paying for that shit by the fucking minute, bro. So when I get that fucking done, I'm about to get paid out from these 2 jobs I'm finishing right now. I'm getting my fucking merch back out. I'm done fucking going out here and climbing trees all day. We're going to fucking sell merch nonstop. This is one of my old shirts that we used to make right here. This isn't going to be the same type of shirts I'm making again. This was a $10,000 machine that did this, okay? But what I can do is we're going to do full ink sublimation. So it will be fully inked into the shirt like these are. Fully inked in, not on top of the shirt. But it's going to be a sublimation process and a direct fabric dye process, not a fucking screen print process like this was. It's a little less expensive, but we're not doing heat press, so don't worry about that. Fuck heat press. I went that route. We made a lot of money making it, but they don't last long enough. But we might do some heat press because you can put 8K quality fucking pictures of your kids and shit on it and do crazy, weird AI videos that you can't get to come out in certain formats. So I don't like direct to garment. I don't like that shit on top of the shirt. It gets hot as fuck when you're wearing it. And we're going to do embroidered hats. So as soon as I can figure out this machine that I bought, we will be starting to embroider beanies, hats, and stuff like that. So we'll be doing that again. I love you guys. Have a blessed day. I don't think I'm going to do car decals this time. Way too much bullshit into that. And I'm by myself. Unless I can get people to come out and weed out fucking decals for me, which is a motherfucker. We won't be doing car decal. Well, we might do some small. I'm lying. We're going to do everything. I'm going to start the flags again once we get into it. Everything.
Got a whole corner of the fucking shed, fucking warehouse cleared out right now. We're gonna put the tables there. That's the first thing I'm doing. When I get this payment, I'm ordering everything I need. I've got it all sitting in my fucking cart on Midway USA right now. So all of it's coming in. It's a 2-day fucking shipping process with those guys. And we'll have good merch. We'll have some very offensive merch too. So brace yourself. We will be starting 2 new shops on YouTube. So there will be a YouTube shop and the community guide. And we are going to be, once that starts, I'm going to do the same thing I did before. Because I can travel and make shirts. Because I have a generator on the fucking truck. So I can travel and make shirts. So we'll be hitting Tampa. We'll be hitting Orlando. We'll give heads up as we're going to do rallies. We're going to go around and do big rallies again. I'm already in the process of setting up a massive boat rally in the state of Florida for just patriotism, for loving each other and stuff like that. So have a blessed night. Be safe. Happy New Year's Eve. 9:07. If I'm still awake in 3 hours, we're going to get on here. And we're going to count down to the New Year's together. And man, just in the name of Jesus, don't let anything happen tonight, Lord. In the name of Jesus, please just bless everybody that has to come in contact with this video, whether they hate me, whether they love me. Bless their lives, Lord. If people are in pain out here, take from me, give me their pain, take my goodness and give it to them, Lord. In your name, amen. Thank you, Jesus. So that's what I pray. I pray that if you have pain, I'll take your pain for the night. I'll take it. Let you feel good. If you have anxiety, give it to me. I'll take it. But I'm just sitting here alone. Give me that anxiety. Go out and have fun. Keep your head on a swivel while you're doing it. Pay attention to what's going on around you. Ladies, have drink covers if you're out at the club tonight, please. I hope you're all smart enough in 2020, going into 2026, to have some kind of drink cover on your drinks at the club. Please, watch out for yourselves. If you're in Florida, carry. Ladies, carry. Okay, if you're in a liberal state, man, get a slapstick, get a fucking big knife, get a fucking this, get a that. Do whatever you need to do. Just do it. You know what I mean? Just do it. Be safe, but have fun. On the off chance that somebody does drug you, carry some Narcan and some epinephrine with you. You know what I mean? An EpiPen, somebody fucking doses you, stab yourself in the leg with that EpiPen, you're awake. I promise you. Or if you can get an adrenaline pen, a sniff stick, anything. Smelling salts. Carry them in your purse, ladies. Smelling salts. The moment you start feeling dizzy, hit those motherfuckers. Woo! You're going to wake up and you're going to get the fuck out of that situation real quick, and then you're going to pass the fuck out. You know what I mean? Just keep yourself safe. Just get a piece of leather, and put some real fucked up studs on it and hang it to your keychain. And if somebody comes at you, wrap that around your fucking hand and just start fucking raking their face with it if they try to attack you. Do something to keep yourself safe. Men, just grow a pair of fucking nuts and slap them in the mouth if you see them fucking with ladies out here tonight. Please. I love you guys. I hope you're all safe. Be well. I'm trying to tell you, it's New Year's Eve, man. There's going to be women everywhere out here with fucking drinks, and people are going to be putting fucking shit in them, and they're going to be fucking trying to snatch these ladies up and take them out. You know what I mean? That's what they do. Criminals will be criminals. Evil will be evil. Demon will be demon. But you can put on the armor of God, grab some weapons of God, and use them. You know what I mean? Against demons. It's just that easy. You don't have to be a pacifist if you're a Christian. You understand that, right? Christianity is not passivity. It's by any means. It's the opposite. It's savagery. Okay? The Crusades happened for a reason. It looks like we're going into a second phase of Crusades with the same people, the Philistines. So, like I said, I love you guys. Be blessed. Be well. I don't even know who you are, so I don't know how you would get view. I would give you views on my shorts, on your shorts. I don't even know who you are. Thanks for all the views on my shorts, by the way. I don't know what that means. I got 4 subs. No, I have 5,000 something. I don't know. What do I have now? I haven't even looked in a long time. But you got to remember, 2 months ago, what did I have? Something like 278 fucking followers. Now I'm over almost at 6,000. So in 2 months that I've been remonetized, 3 months now I've been remonetized. What are you doing, weirdo? Get up and get your water. Get up. What are you doing? Get up. Get your water. What's going on over here? You're acting weird. Get up. Come here. Get it. Yeah, you can't eat that big old stick of cheese and not drink water, ding dong. My dog will sit there and pant at me when her water bowl's literally right the fuck here. Right here. And she's right here. She wants me to move that water bowl in front of her. She's so fucking lazy. I guess when I'm 87, I might want somebody to move my water. She's 13 this year, so. Let's go see. It'll tell me right now. See, you can't see all the views or anything that I get. Like, you think I have 47 views on here right now. But you can't see the fact that I probably got more, like, I want to say about 16,000 views tonight. Maybe not. Maybe 1,000. Maybe 500. Who knows? You never know. Some nights it's 70,000. Some nights it's 100. Some nights it's fucking 20. What? 4 subscribers? I'm at 5,439 subscribers right now. And last night, I was at, or before I went live, I was at 4,300 subscribers. So, I mean, I did pretty good. I'm at 4,439 right now. So, fuck, that's over 100 subscribers just today. Important notification. Age restriction set. Oh, yeah, that's another thing they're doing. Oh, the way they're trying to get you to not watch my videos is they're age restricting them. So the one where I just talked about exposing Ron DeSantis for the $35 million in fucking fraud in the state of Florida, they age restricted that. Because I'm speaking out against the governor of Florida, I guess. I don't know. Oh, cool. Hey, look at that. I just got accepted into the affiliate shoppers program. People are now going to pay me to advertise for them. So that's today's. What's the headline to this one? California will arrest ICE agents in San Francisco. 43,600 views. I don't know if that's a short or if that's the live right now. Let's go back to analytics. See, that way he can't lie about my view count. First of all, why is this so fucking little? There we go. Let's go to analytics. Your hard work paid off. Publishing more helped your channel get 278% more views. Why aren't you fucking working? Let's see. The last 48 hours, I've got 46,500 and just went up to 29 that second. So yeah, right now I've gotten 43,000 views right now on this live stream. 61,000 views on that live stream. 18,000 views on that live stream. 17,000, 17,000, 13,000, 10,000, 8,000, 6,000. See more. Let's go down to last month and see what I was getting last month, right? So this is last month's. I don't want to customize anything. Shut the fuck up. Come on, man. When I click on it, it means I want to fucking go to it. I fucking hate YouTube. 61,000, 18,000, 17,000, 17,000, 18,000, 8,000. So that's going through the ones we were. See the progression. No way to view more. That shows you the progression there, buddy. So yeah, there's a bit of a difference. And I know you remember during the Charlie. Hey, plus 200 subs in 28 days. You don't have any subscribers on any of your channels, so what are you even talking about? What the fuck is going on? Come on, man. Get me the fuck out of here. Get me back to where I was. Oh my God. Just get me out of there altogether. How about that? There we go. Good for him. This guy's pretty cool. If you like science stuff, atmospheric weather, space weather, stuff like that, Stephen Burns. I really like his channel. He gives good info out. Very articulate. He's a good astrophysicist. And obviously Mickey Okaku. I mean, that would be your go-to guy, right? Mickey Okaku would be the go-to guy if you want to get into any type of physics, astrophysics, quantum physics, and stuff like that. Would be Mickey Okaku. Also, everybody understand, I only go live for an hour a day. That's it. An hour a day. Most time, it's not even always an hour a day, is it? Sometimes it's 45 minutes. But anyway, I'm happy that I got 43,000 views on New Year's Eve. That's great. That's wonderful traffic. Hell, if I get 10 views, I don't care. That's 10 people I was able to reach. You know what I mean? I love you guys. Be safe. Be blessed. Thank you for the super chats tonight. Thank you for the diamonds. And be well out here.